Combat Veterans with Brain Injuries or PTSD, written by Jennifer Roberts. The term veterans of any war means any veteran who served in the active military, naval, or Air Force service during a period of war. Veterans of any war under military orders in a hostile environment which directly or indirectly engage with the enemy of the United States and its allies is known as a combat vet. News research out of the Walter Reed National Medical Center in Bethesda show that more than half of the military service members with blast injuries have a form of scarring on their brain. Soldiers who have seen combat overseas often come back to the invisible wounds of war, including psychological and physical damages to their brains. New research explores how the number of explosions experienced by a veteran relates to the lasting changes in the activity of specific brain cells in the cerebellum, an area traditionally associated with motor coordination. It is possible these changes contribute to some of the mood changes and cognitive complaints such as memory loss that service members report even years after the exposure to combat. VA Pugnant Sound Molecule neuropsychologist James Mebon worked with 33 participants who had been exposed to explosive blasts. The research team used functional imaging to observe brain activity and found that the more blast injuries former soldiers had obtained, the less activity occurred in the cerebellum. Signs and symptoms. Mild injuries are associated with brief changes in or loss of consciousness. Severe injuries involve longer periods of unconsciousness and memory loss around the event. Moderate and severe instances of TBI, also traumatic brain injuries, may be easier to diagnose. Physical effects may include headaches, difficulty speaking, blurry eyesight or sensitive to light, trouble hearing or sensitivity to noise, loss of energy, changes in taste or smell, dizziness or troubled balance. Cognitive effects may include difficulty concentrating, trouble with attention. The cost is too much. In the past 15 years, more than 3,000 members of the U.S. Armed Forces have been diagnosed with traumatic brain injury, according to the Armed Forces Health Surveillance Center. In 2010, there was a $15 million effort to put 3 MRI machines into Afghanistan to examine the soldiers closer to the point of their injury. The costs associated with treating mental health conditions resulting from combat service are also examined. Estimated cost of treating major depression or PTSD for 2 years post-deployment ranges from $5,000 to almost $26,000 per case. Provisions of evidence-based care will save money or pay for itself. In 2005, estimated cost of TBI ranged from $25,000 to a little over $30,000 per mild cases, and from $250,000 to almost $390,000 per moderate to severe cases. Another main finding is that the loss of productivity is a key driver of the costs associated with major depression, PTSD, and mild TBI. A key finding is that PTSD, major depression, and TBI can be long-term, cascading consequences. These consequences include substance abuse, suicide attempts, unhealthy behaviors, physical health problems, mortality, diminished productivity, and unemployment. Getting help. You can take the following steps to help manage your TBI symptoms. Get enough sleep. Write down things or use electronic reminders if you have trouble remembering. Check with someone you trust when making decisions. Avoid alcohol, caffeine, cold medicines that treat nasal congestion. Recognize triggers. Keep a record to help identify situations that are more likely to worsen your symptoms. Take up a hobby. Remember that symptoms are a normal part of recovery. Talk to others to keep you from feeling isolated and to give friends and loved ones a chance to support you. Remember that symptoms are normal. And here are my references.